So we've been invited to a press briefing about the promenade and the upgrade that's been looked forward to for so long. With me, Infrastructure Minister, Mr. Cretney. You've done a briefing to the MHKs and then one for the press. It's all go from August then, if you get what you want.
Yes, I'm going to the July sitting at Tynwald. Since I've been Minister for Infrastructure, this scheme, together with the Peel Road scheme, are the ones which the public have been on to us most of the time. And I think it was quite obvious for anybody who does represent the people that these were schemes which were long overdue. In the case of the promenade, it's a long time since any works of a substantial nature were carried out, almost 80 years. And so it's long overdue, and it is the gateway to the island from the sea terminal towards Regent Street there. And so though I think if you look at the artist's impressions, the montage, it looks much improved, and hopefully people will see that as the scheme develops.
Why doing it in such a long period? I mean, this first phase is quite small, really, isn't it? I mean, sea terminal around to AXA and just a little bit down.
Yeah, so it was actually going to be up and including Regent Street, but what we're informed is that work is imminent in terms, and you've seen the hoarding going around the AXA site, so it looks like work's going to be taking place there shortly, and it would be a waste of money to spend money doing the pavement immediately outside there whilst the work is about to commence, and so we've put that on hold until that work has got on with. The reason it's over an extended period is purely financial. You know, we are aware what the financial climate is at the moment, and the only way we'll get this through is by doing it on a phased basis. So it's only down to finances. We're very clear that the Chamber of Commerce and others want to see it carried out as soon as possible, and we'll do so as much as we can.
So phase one, how much?
It's £1.6 million.
Doesn't get you a lot, does it, these days?
It doesn't. There is total reconstruction of the carriageway outside from Victoria Street down, and some resurfacing in places, then a lot of paving. There's a removal of a lot of street clutter, so it will look much better.
And of course the Victoria clock, which is a bit of an icon, I think it was moved many years ago, but this is going to get moved again. That's important. It has to be done, does it?
It's getting moved because in order to improve the sight lines and the way that the exit from Victoria Street goes onto the promenade. Simply that. And I've heard all sorts of people suggesting that perhaps it was getting moved to facilitate bendy buses. Well, the answer's no.
The contentious thing about the horse trams doesn't come into this, does it? I mean, that side isn't being done. If I'm reading that chart right, it's just the one side you're going to be doing. Is that right, of the carriageway?
Yes. The future phases of the proposals, which have been very much consulted upon. There's been 2 major consultations on this, and the public input is what is dictating in the main what's going on here. But when we do get to a further phase, then there will be the horse trams will be moved to the seaside of the promenade, and on the shop side of the promenade, if I can describe it as such, then the angled parking, which currently is on the seaside, will be on that side. And I think that will be much more successful in terms of people having to just access the shops or wherever, or the restaurants or the hotels. On that side is much more convenient.
How long will this take if it goes ahead?
There are various proposals. It could take as little as 3 to 5 years. It could take longer. I think it's likely to be about 5 years.
And phase one?
And phase one.
How long will that take?
This will take, I think it's about 37 weeks.
Just before TT, isn't it? Going to finish?
Yes, it is. That's the reason it's starting in August, early August, is that it will be completed before TT next year. And that's obviously very important because it's a busy time of the year. The original plan that we discussed previously was that it wouldn't start until after the Manx Grand Prix, but unfortunately that timescale doesn't allow to be concluded by TT. And so it'll be started first week in August, finished mid-May next year.
Yet I know Peel Road is headlined as being ahead of schedule, so you must be happy with that project, are you?
Yes, I think the officers will get sick and tired of me being involved and making suggestions from time to time. But yes, I'm very pleased with the way it's going. Clearly people are inconvenienced, and I'm very grateful to the public for their understanding of that situation, but it is going ahead well, and I think once it's completed, people will see something which is long overdue. I was a councillor in 1983 and it was needed doing then, so 30 years on, it's just nice that I'm able to be involved in concluding that scheme.
And the regeneration of Strand Street, we've all walked up and down there. It seems to be an awfully long process, but the results are what you expected?
I'm very pleased again with the results. People for a long time have said that Strand Street and Duke Street and Wellington Street, etc., were looking tired. And again, it's a long time. It's probably about 30 years since there was any work of any major nature done in that regard. The products which are being used are expensive, but they're very long-lasting in the limestone and one thing and another. There are issues in terms of keeping them clean, and the corporation are working with us in terms of making sure that that will be a priority for them, because it is a key area for people coming to visit the Isle of Man. And once it's concluded, and again, I'm very grateful for the public and the businesses for being so patient, but you can't do schemes of this major nature without the support of such.